Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully, everyone had an awesome Christmas. New Year's is just right around the corner now. I believe that's on Saturday, which means Friday is New Year's Eve. I may or may not be here. Nothing personal. I just don't want to be woken up by fireworks. So I may go camping again. We'll see. Nothing is set in stone, but what the heck is going on with schools? Especially here around Texas, around the Austin metro area that includes um, Leander, Round Rock, AISD. I mean, seriously, what is going on here? That's what I want to know. So there was a school board, I guess, in Leander. Parents outrage after brazen teacher calls them bigots in Dr. Seuss style poems. Parents in Austin, Texas area expressed outrage after a technology teacher reads Dr. Seuss style poem mocking evangelicals and parents who have expressed concerns about the books they called pornographic because they are pornographic. Krista Taylor, instructional technology specialist at Grissom Middle School in Round Rock Independent School District, reads a poem to the Leander ISD School Board meeting December 6th. Everyone in Leander likes reading a lot, but some evangelicals in Leander did not. It pretty much goes on, pretty much calling the people who are for book burning bigots because they don't want to express their sexuality and all that good stuff. But come on, this is for school library. These are kindergartens all the way up to high school. There's certain books in school libraries should not be allowed. I've made myself perfectly clear on this position on previous ones. After parents actually goes on. Let's see here. Bring back our books, maintain decorum, and good grief. Wouldn't it be nice to have a meeting in peace? Well, we can't have meetings in peace because people like you want to promote certain ideologies. They're not necessarily child safe. I'm not even talking about Democrats or Republicans. More talking about the LGBT because I don't think that has any place in the school. I think that's going to be more of a personal choice, personal growth, and certain things should be not in the school library. Parents in Round Rock ISD and Leander ISD expressed outrage over Tyler's poem, which, you know, there's some merit. I'm disgusted and disheartened that there are teachers in our school district who think it's okay to mock parents for their religious belief and for demanding that the children not have access to books in libraries or classrooms that have pornographic illustrations and graphic descriptions of sex act. Dustin Clark, a father of 4 children in Round Rock Public School District, who got arrested for speaking out at a school board meeting, told Fox. Clark mentioned 2 books in question: Lawn Boy by Jonathan Evision, which includes a long section of boy reminiscing about the expletive experience he had as a 10-year-old, and Gender Queer Memorial by Maya Kobabe, which includes photos of sexual acts between a boy and a man. Concerned parents have spoken up about these books in other Leander and Round Rock, as well as in other school districts, such as Fairfax County, Virginia. LSD, not LSD, but yeah, LS. Leander Independent School District pulled 11 books for sexual contact earlier this month. The opinions of the teacher who recently spoke at the board meeting illustrates the utter disconnect some teachers have with their communities. Orlando Salinas, a father of one child in Round Rock ISD, and other children too young for public schools, told Fox News. He said teachers are under the impression that the parents are coming to these meetings in the spirit of political divisionness when it's not the case. This is about subject matters in the school library. This is a school library for kindergarten all the way up to high school, where certain, I mean, this is like having Hustler in your school library. Would you want the magazine Hustler or Playboy in your school library? No, I mean, this is a serious question. If you were to go, let's say, little Timmy's 10 years old, and you go to the school library and you see Hustler plastered as magazine of the month, would you want something like that in your child's school library? I would continue on, but just for the record, I actually looked up this lady because I wanted to know a little bit more about her. Was able to find her. It's Krista Taylor. I'm not going to say the username. This was not an attack on Christianity. It had nothing to do with Round Rock ISD, where I'm not employed. I am a parent at Leander ISD and never claimed to be a teacher at that meeting or any other meeting. I asked that obstructionist parents use the policies in place if they wish to oppose the literature, and it's reasonable to ask if other citizens found their identity reflective, in my words, that they may not reflect on what that trusted with their priests or certified therapists. But I was certainly not criticizing anyone but a specific group of antagonist parents in my own district. And of course, we got people who probably don't know what the hell they're talking about. Good for you, Krista. We must speak up for our children and education. Yes, I'm speaking up for parents that don't have a voice to make sure Hustler is not in school libraries. Now, I'm using Hustler. I know there's not going to be a Hustler in the school library because that's clearly out of bounds for our students. But that's almost to the same degree it's in some of these god awful books. But it doesn't go there. Also got the Austin Public Library condemns book banning in Texas. No one's asking to ban books from the public library. At least I've come across. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people who probably don't want Trump books in there. But that doesn't really matter. Austin KXAN on Wednesday, the public library spoke out against the storm of book banning and censorship that has swept across the state of Texas this year. Is there anyone saying that the public library should remove books? I've not come across any stories that in the public library, I'm separating public from school library. Has there been any calls for the public library to ban any books? Because I have not heard of any. That doesn't mean that there's not out there. I just haven't been able to find any. Several school districts have, you see how they lumped the two together? You got public libraries, and then you have several school districts have enacted reviews of materials available to students in recent months after some complaints. Many of the most targeted books contain sexual content, LGBTQ plus characters, and themes and discuss around systematic racism. No one's asking for the public library to ban such books. We're asking that the school library not make available such books that they can be checked out. Because this really is all about the parents choosing what their kids consume. And if you have like a Hustler in the school library, the parents no longer choosing. And yes, I know they're not going to have a Hustler magazine. It's a description of what type of books are in your school library. Earlier this month, Leander ISD in Central Texas removed 11 books from its classroom libraries, and not the school library as a whole, after reviewing stemming from complaints all the way back in March. Meanwhile, concerns about titles at Lake Travis ISD and several other school districts across the state have triggered ongoing reviews and decide whether the books should remain in curriculum or be dropped. Texas Governor Abbott even called for Texas public schools to remove clearly pornographic materials, though no examples of obvious pornographic items have been were given, or have been reported. I mean, that's a weird sentence. There's, though, no examples of obvious pornographic items have been distributed and were given or have been reported. The Long Boy, clearly has a verbal description of him giving another dude a blowjob. Hustler. If there was a gay version of Hustler, that's the type of stories you'll be reading. In Llano County, tensions over books seeped over into the county library last week. Llano County Library shut down for a review. Okay, so I guess this is the county library. Review of every children's book in curriculum. 6 librarian panel isn't the end either, with the County Judge Ron Cunningham saying that the Library Advisory Board is in the works to create policies for future reviews. Now Austin Public Library is taking a stand along the Texas Library Association and the American Library Association, which has already expressed disagreement with the trend. I don't care if you disagree. Pornographic material, whether as visual or verbal, as in written down, should not be allowed on school property. Well, not necessarily school property, allowed in school libraries. This isn't about the freedom to read. This isn't a First Amendment issue. This is protecting our kids. If you want something in the public library, it should be public and they should not be banning. They should separate the kids section, and the kids section should be the highest level of standard to make sure there's not even anything questionable about it. I'm talking blue level innocence, or Blue Clues level innocence, into the school section or the kids section. And of course, they say the Austin Public Library says the freedom to read is a right that must be protected in our school and public libraries, and we must not give the vocal few that want to speak for the many, says the APL director Roosevelt Weeks on a Monday statement. I disagree. Yes, you get to choose as an adult to read what you want. You as an adult can go to the public library and check out any book you want. As a parent, you could choose to allow your kids to read whatever they want. Where I draw the line is the school property district, or the school line. If you are okay with Hustler being on school campus or in the school library, then you shouldn't have no position to, on a school level, to educate our kids. Because I do not want Hustler-esque type material, regardless if it shows light of a particular sexuality. I don't care about sexuality. Only ones I really care about is transgender, because I don't think kids can be transgender. We should follow tattoo laws where you have to be 18 or over before you can even modify your body. Now, I'm not talking about cutting hair or growing hair out. But of course, I'm going to look at Twitter, because why not? It's a great cesspool. Now, this is the pretty much repeating what I said the story. And I don't know if this person's being clever or not. We need to keep it all out there, the way people can understand different points of view. But yes, sex and porn should not be allowed on school libraries. Because we're talking about school libraries. We're not talking about public libraries. We're not going to your neighborhood library. We're talking about going into a school for kids and reading something that's Hustler-esque. Now, of course, why sex a beautiful act be celebrated, not hidden? Way with shame, I bet you don't get laid often. The fact that I get laid or not get laid is none of your business. I guess I didn't hear the dog whistle because you're not really paying attention. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they're calling it a dog whistle, because only certain people know about the situation, are speaking out. Like I said, Lawn Boy is one of them. I haven't read it, but I read what the news have read about it, and it was pretty disgusting to be offered to kids. at a young age. And like I said, this isn't me trying to be dictating policy. This isn't me saying some books should be allowed and some shouldn't be allowed. I'm saying there should be a standard for school property or school libraries to just have books that are geared towards the audience and not be hustlers or playboys in the school library. Now, if you go to your neighborhood library, that's completely different. If you're a parent and you think it's okay for your kid to read such materials, I'm all for it. I'm not telling you not to let your kids read this crap. It's up to the parent to decide, and I don't think these certain topics should be available in the school library. Anyways, am I overreacting? Is this a dog whistle? Or am I not acting enough? Because the only way that we're going to change this is for parents to go to these school board meetings with actual knowledge of what's in the school library. I'm not going to go to the school library because I have no kids, so I have no business being around kids. I'm just saying, I enjoy my freedom. I enjoy not being labeled certain things. But if you're a parent, I advise you to go to your school library and just randomly check out books and see what the topic is, and see if that's acceptable reading material for your kids. Hopefully, your audit comes back and it's all innocent. I mean, there may be some controversial things to get people thinking, but not going into sex and porn and promoting drug use and all that good stuff. Hopefully, you don't find that, but if you do, I encourage you to all go to the school board meetings and say this is not okay. Tell that, I don't even know if she's a teacher or not, or was a teacher, because what she pretty much did is pretty much berate the parents for speaking out against this type of filth. Like I said, if you want to read this filth as an adult, go ahead. If you're a parent and you let your kids read this filth, that's on you. But it shouldn't be in the school library. Anyways, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. Please smash the like and subscribe button. I'm up to 62 subscribers on YouTube. I think there's about 3 people coming back, which is awesome. Hi. So just smash the like and the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning or evening.